Live to Billy D. Hillier Stadium. You're looking at John Mark Stallings Field, where in a matter of minutes, the Faulkner University Eagles will kick off against the Saints of Thomas More. I'm Jeremy Smith, joined right now by the beat writer for FaulknerEagles.com, Joel Sellers. Joel, this is an offense in Faulkner that opened it up last week after really having struggled in a number of areas leading into last week's game at Campbellsville. Really began to find its rhythm. They put up 49 points last week and went into cruise control in the fourth quarter. What was different as you went back? You read through everything. You watched the game. What'd you see different out of that offense?
Difference, I think they learned how to execute, and that all comes, I think, from that comeback against the Cumberlands here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that momentum really did seem to carry over.
I watching that, you just knew that a game like that was probably the best thing that could have happened for this team to come together. It solidified Ben Anderson as QB1.
Yeah.
And, of course, Javion Tucker. A lot of you need him to have.
What a run Javion Tucker is on right now. 5 touchdowns in his last 5 quarters of play. Javion Tucker on the year, 18 catches, 298 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He is the reigning Mid-South Conference Offensive Player of the Week after career highs in catches, yards, and touchdowns a week ago. 7 catches, 155 yards, 3 touchdowns, and nearly all of that in the first half.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it's the impact can't be overstated, and
No.
he has really gotten really he had big shoes to fill with Isaiah Scott and Jalen Browder both graduating, but so far, after a slow first couple weeks, he seems to be doing that.
Well, and he's a guy that they've talked about for years. There has never been a question about the physical ability.
Right.
They always looked at him and thought, that's a number one receiver. He just doesn't know it yet. Mm-hmm. And he's a guy that over the last couple of weeks, and I think you look at the 2 touchdowns that he had in the fourth quarter in the comeback against Cumberland's, and then what he carried over into that first half last week. He's
Definitely.
A guy who right now plays like he knows he's the best player on the field. And as long as you have a guy with that physical ability and the mindset that he's the best player on the field, that's a hard guy to stop.
Definitely, yeah. All it takes, the physical stuff can be built up, but it takes often longer to get the mental side built up. And you started to see it a little bit. He made the most of his limited minutes last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really stepped in.
The other area of the offense you and I will talk about before we bring Grayson Plunkett in here in just a moment is the run game. They did seem to find something in the run game last week. Unfortunately, a big part of that was true freshman Styles Hughes, who had 4 touchdown rushes last week but injured himself on the final rush of the game for him and is out indefinitely and very possibly for the remainder of this year. And so you have a true freshman who has a breakout performance with 4 rushing touchdowns, and you lose him in the very same game. Now you go back into that mix of Drexlin Allen and Tim Cody and Corinthian Cunningham and John Bolton. But again, the real key, I think, for this ground game is not just the offensive line, which is the obvious one, but the real key, I think, for this ground game is – can Ben Anderson continue to be effective so that they don't key on that ground game so much in the box? How important is that going to be for them to get moving today?
It's going to be very important. On paper, this is a team that you really shouldn't have as much trouble with, and luckily, and from here on out, the toughest opponents will be on the road, which is a two-edged sword because those can be really unfortunate losses to take if they end up doing that, but that also means there's all the more incentive to take care of business at home. Now, Thomas More, 2-3 record, it looks like a good opportunity. But as soon as the defense can take out one part of your game, then, half the game plan can be scrapped right then.
Absolutely.
So they need to establish that, and while also that's the main thing, establishing the run game and then making sure Ben can stay upright.
That's Joel Sellers. He's the beat writer for FaulknerEagles.com. Joel, thanks for joining us. Look forward to reading your post-game recap later on FaulknerEagles.com.
Of course. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Grayson Plunkett coming in to join us now. Grayson Plunkett, the student leader of our broadcast team, manages both the production, the camera, oversees all of these guys, send all complaints to Grayson Plunkett.
I try to at least.
Yeah, so Grayson Plunkett, though, also one of our lead broadcasters from the student perspective. And, Grayson, you've seen this team. You've followed this team. And you take a look at the defensive side of the ball, and we know that Rob Gray's calling card coming into his head coaching tenure was defense. Mm-hmm. Even in the moments this year where the offense has really scuffled at times, that defense has been really consistent.
Yeah, that defense, I mean, you went coming into this year, you look at the loss of how many seniors and how many just experienced players were on this team, and that was a big question mark for me, was how was this defense going to look? You know, you lose a Malik Meadows, you lose a Obi Gates. I mean, like, what do you do? Well, you go in, you reload, and you brought in great young players. And you still have Chris Thompson as well, who a returning starter, going to be playing back in safety today. And that experience on that, especially the corners, is going to really be tested today against this Thomas More team with one of their receivers. I mean,
Raquez Dowdy,
yeah. Like, I mean, I was reading it today, 6 foot, 185 pounds, going to go up against some of these Faulkner DBs, and that's going to be a key part of the game to look at. Just how do they adjust to keep from getting this guy from getting the ball?
Right. A guy last week who really just, I thought, had an incredible game was Jamichael Morgan. 11 total tackles for him a week ago. That is 11 out of his 19 on the year, and you're talking about a defensive lineman with 11 tackles a week ago. One of the real leaders of this defense. And I think that's incredibly important because they lost Samaj Washington 2 weeks ago, and Samaj Washington had really begun to take giant steps forward. And so I think that's going to be an offset. You've begun to see more snaps from Marvin Payton. You're seeing more of an impact from a guy like Darius Williams, who had his first career interception a week ago. And I think that's going to be huge. And then the real consistency on this defense, more than anyone else, has been Jarrell Williamson. 39 total tackles out of that strong safety spot.
Exactly. Jarrell Williamson really has stepped up this year, being one of the younger guys in this cornerback core for Faulkner. I mean, 39 tackles. What else can you say about him? And as well as just, he also brings that kind of dog mentality to this team that you always need. Like, we always talk about with defense, it's like you got guys who are more of like Mr. Finesse, who they can work a very well technique. They can do great with trying to keep the defense going and everything. But then you have those guys like Jarrell Williamson, who's a dog, who will get down in the trenches, even though that's not his position. Shoot, you could put him in like a Mark Barron spot, like a defensive, like a linebacker or something. That dude will still make an impact.
Well, and he is a guy that they had at the linebacker spot last year, and they backed him up to strong safety. And the problem for the other team is he has more of a running start now.
Yeah.
But Jarrell Williamson only has one gear, and that gear hurts.
Yeah.
So 39 tackles so far on the season for Jarrell Williamson, big part of this defense. We'll bring David Turner in here in a moment to look at the Thomas More side of things as we preview this ballgame. But, Grayson, thank you so much, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Grayson Plunkett with the Faulkner Sports Network, taking a look at the defensive side for this Faulkner Eagles football team. And now my broadcast partner, David Turner, will put on the headset, and you all can feel free to go take a bathroom break.
Yes, exit now.
That's right. Exit now or forever hold your pee. That's how they say it, right? So as you look at this game, only the second time in the history of these two programs that they have met, and very likely the last time, as Thomas More goes to NCAA Division II at the conclusion of this season. The one contest between them last year up in Kentucky, and it was a 27-20 win for Faulkner on that night, and some familiar names on the offensive side of the ball were key for Thomas More that night, most specifically Blake Espinoza and Raquez Dowdy.
Yeah, Blake Espinoza on that night, 208 yards of passing, and also Espinoza 38 yards rushing from that quarterback position there. And so a good night. This is a quarterback who can be dangerous, and one thing that you and I talked about before we even got on air was the completion percentage of Espinoza. Last year, that was down under or around 50%, I believe, and this year he's up right at 60% completion percentage, which is an incredible rate for him, shows growth and development and his comfort level with this offense. And man, he's got a couple of weapons around him, too, and that always helps.
Incredible improvement for him. He completed 45.7% of his passes a season ago, 7 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So not stellar, not standout numbers a year ago, but you turn this year and you look at the fact that he's sitting at 60.33% in his completion percentage and 121 attempts this year. So it's not like they're not throwing it very much.
Right.
They are throwing it a lot. And he only threw it 173 times a year ago. So his completion percentage has been good. Now, the interceptions have been a bugaboo. 4 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. That's a little bit of a problem for this Thomas More team. The other thing that I really think you have to look at for this Thomas More team, if you're circling areas of concern, 24 sacks allowed as a team to this juncture through 5 ball games. Now, granted, there is a Division I opponent in those 5 ball games, and that must be noted. They lost 34-14 to Division I Duquesne, the same Duquesne that played Florida State earlier in the year. So, that's not for nothing. That's a big game. And look, you only lost by 20, and you put up 14 points on an NCAA Division I team like that.
Yeah, that says a lot there.
It does. Here's the hard part when you look at this Thomas More team, and I almost said Lindsey Wilson because that's where I'm going next. What are they? And it's really hard to gauge because it was a 42-35 loss to Bluefield, but Bluefield puts up big points on everybody.
Yeah.
It was a 31-28 win over Kentucky Christian. You really have to throw out the Duquesne game in terms of trying to determine what they are. They beat Campbellsville 44-36 in an absolute just offensive showcase for both teams. And then they go to Lindsey Wilson, who's number 3 in the country, and they host Lindsey Wilson a week ago, and it's a 12-3 ball game, and that's the number 3 team in the country. So who are they? And I think we're going to really be interested to find that out today.
Yeah, we are, and that offensive line, like a lot like us here at Faulkner, that offensive line has to come out for them and for Thomas More and show that they filled some of these holes and they're ready to play. They're ready to give their quarterback Espinoza and some of these backs time to make some things happen offensively, because we've seen they can put up some numbers. They can put up points, and that all depends, man, so heavily on that offensive line.
It absolutely does. And Blake Espinoza, you noted, he is a guy that he can make some things happen with his feet as well. He can get outside the pocket. He is a guy that can create some, and I think you can even call design runs for him at times.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they manage that this year, or this contest rather. On the season, he's netted just 31 yards, but you got to figure he's been sacked 24
times, right.
So,
gained 123 yards, lost 92.
Yeah.
So you figure 24 sacks into that loss of 92, that tells a large story right there.
Yeah.
And while we're here, another thing for this Thomas More team, when we're looking at some of their stats and going over that, penalties have been a big thing for them.
Big problem.
87 yards per game in penalties for them.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a key factor in today as well. Can some of these Faulkner players maybe get under the skin and get some of those cheap yards? Who knows? But that is something to keep your eye on for sure as we move into this ball game.
The team from Crestview Hills, Kentucky, ready to kick it off against the Faulkner Eagles here in just a moment. Captains at midfield, and we'll go through as David Turner gets numbers and gets ready to tell you who the captains are. I want to highlight a couple of guys on this defense for Thomas More that are names we expect to hear today. Dell Thomas is the leading tackler on this team. 37 tackles, 4.5 for loss, 2 sacks. He's also got an interception, 2 pass breakups. So he's a guy that's making a lot of stuff happen. And then Colton Sandhaus, 27 tackles on the season and 3 interceptions. So Dell Thomas, Colton Sandhaus, big parts of this Thomas More defense, and we anticipate that They're names that we'll probably call a lot today. David Turner, as you get those captains on the Faulkner side, it looks like we've got Jarrell Williamson, 26, Sam Jackson, 70, Darian Gully, 44, and I'm going to guess that is Tyler Wilson, number 5 for Faulkner, as we've got a couple of 5s on the roster.
Yeah, I was going to go Tyler Wilson with that as well. I have yet to be able to get Thomas Moore's numbers. One of those is number 10.
Yeah.
That is Dell Thomas, who you just talked about.
51.
Number 51, that is Ross Haversat, a junior defensive lineman.
87 and 29 are your other two numbers there.
All right. 87 is Jamie Hale, a 6'6" tight end for this team. And what was the other number?
29.
29. That is Colton Sandhaus.
The other name
you just mentioned, the 6 foot, 200-pound defensive back from Cincinnati, Ohio.
So, captains have handled the coin toss. Teams running out. We're ready to go. You will notice the October pink on most of the Eagle players and the pom-poms of the cheerleaders. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A pink out game here today at Billy D. Hillier Stadium. An exciting weekend on campus as Faulkner had its Athletics Hall of Fame induction last night. Travis Henry, Kevin Mixon, and the godfather of Faulkner Sports Information, Doug Amos, all entering into the Faulkner Athletics Hall of Fame last night. Those gentlemen here on campus today taking the game in from the President's Box, and they'll be honored at halftime. So Faulkner paying homage to its heritage in the athletic world here today. And we ready for this kickoff. Let's hit you with the two deep for Faulkner's offense, your starters.
Starters at quarterback will be number 18, Ben Anderson. Number 3 at wide receiver, DeMarcus Johnson. Number 15 at running back, Drex Allen. Another receiver, number 19, Sean Vincent. Tight end will either be Garrett Orr or Dawson Mosley. Right tackle, number 67, Jarrett Browning. I'll get it out here in a minute.
Sure.
Right guard, number 65, Corey Dates. Center will be number 52, Tanner Glisson. Left guard, number 75, Gavin Bradford. Left tackle, number 73, Phillip Jackson. Receiver will be number 5, Tyler Wilson. And another receiver will be number 9, Javion Tucker.
I'll give you the defensive units for Thomas More in a moment. This ball kicked away, going to be fielded back at the 14-yard line. That is Tyler Wilson coming back across the left side, and he'll get it up to about the 33-yard line where he's tackled. And let's do this group by group for Thomas More. Across the front, they show a 4-3 alignment in their two-deep roster. That's going to be Seth Noel and Tanner Lawrence, the defensive ends, number 48 and 44, respectively. The defensive tackles, number 34, Jared Bullock, number 51, Ross Halverstadt. The linebackers are number 30, Teddy Brosh, number 10, Del Thomas, number 45, Isaac Abden. And the defensive backs, the corners are number 21, Christian Rice, number 1, Deontay Lesperance. The safeties, number 29, Colton Sandhaus, and number 24, Colton Reeves. There is the give for Faulkner on this first down play, and he'll get up to about the 36-yard line, a gain of 3 on the first carry of the ball game. That was Drexlin Allen. So Faulkner now second down and 7. You got 2 wide to the left and 3 to the right, and an empty backfield right now for Ben Anderson. Anderson claps and awaits. There's the snap. He'll drop. He'll look. He'll throw. That is Tyler Wilson, and he is hit immediately. And that is number 29, the man that we talked about beforehand, Colton Sandhaus, one of the big hitters on this team.
That was a big hit right there on Tyler Wilson. Wilson not shaken up, but coming off for this play, and that throw. You
don't know his life. He might be shaken up.
You saw Anderson give a little bit of a hitch, and I think the throw is just a little late. We've got a flag.
Should be an offsides here, and that is a first down throw, so I would expect that the penalty will be declined as Javion Tucker hauls in the pass at the 49-yard line. They will decline. The white hat just got the official confirmation from the pink hoodied Rob Gray. So if you're looking for head coach Rob Gray, look down on the sideline, the guy in the light pink hoodie.
Yeah, he's kind of easy to spot on that
Easy to spot
sideline
today. Trips to the right, one to the left. Quarterback out of the gun, one back in the backfield with him. 4 down linemen look for Thomas Moore. Anderson takes the snap, drops, looks. That's a delayed handoff on the draw play, and he'll lose 2 yards. So Drexel Allen tackled at the 47-yard line. Garrett Orr will check into the ball game here, and they will remove Sean Vincent. So you get a receiver off, and you get an extra blocker on for 2nd and 12. Twins right, one left. Anderson awaits the snap. He'll take it, feeds Drexel Allen. He'll work left tackle, get back the 2 that he lost, and that's about it. So 3rd down and 10 now for Faulkner. Eagles in the monochromatic blue with the black tops today. Thomas Moore, white helmet, white jersey, in the blue pants. Going to go trips right and one left on this 3rd down and 10. Anderson awaits the snap. He'll take it. He'll drop. Looks downfield, fires over the middle, and caught by Sean Vincent. Through tight coverage from Sandhaus, Sean Vincent did a great job holding on to that football.
Yeah, that was great hands by Vincent, sticking him out there and holding on to that football, because as soon as it was in his hands, that defensive back was all over him trying to knock that ball loose. Good catch, nice throw in rhythm from Anderson on that 3rd down attempt.
Trips right, one left, Anderson out of the gun, or is the blocker to his left. Drops, looks, pressure, flush. He'll roll left and then finally just take the sack. And it looked like 24 maybe is the number that got in there. And that's going to be
Colton Reeves.
Colton Reeves, the safety, came up and got the sack there. So we're 2nd down and 13 as we await this snap. Drexel Allen in, Garrett Orr out. So Tyler Wilson, Javion Tucker are the receivers to the left. Anderson awaits the snap. Wilson in motion. He'll work behind Anderson. Swing pass looking. Oh, my goodness. So Tyler Wilson has taken 2 vicious shots today. Thomas Moore saw that play coming, and that nearly got there before the ball did.
Yeah, that play was dead to rights from the snap. Number 1, Deontay Lesperance read that from the start of that play. Great job by him. And you talked about, you said it, Wilson took the brunt of that punishment on that play.
Yeah, and Faulkner, so Tyler Wilson pays the price, but Faulkner really lucky that Lesperance was looking for the hit.
Yeah, not going the other way.
If he was looking for the ball, it's a pick 6. So he read that one. Somebody did some film study this weekend. And so Tyler Wilson has taken 2 big hits on this first drive. And
I don't blame him for staying down after that one at all.
No, he got hit earlier about 3 plays ago by Colton Sandhaus. Came off for a snap, came back on, and then Lesperance hit him in the backfield here. So Faulkner will go 3rd down and 13 as Tyler Wilson is helped off by our training staff. You'll go, looks like 4 wides here on 3rd and 13.
Going to have to do something because
you're not in field goal range.
Nope.
Ball's at the 38-yard line. You are, though, in a position where if you pick up 6 or 7, you probably go for it on 4th down.
And you get up to about the 30, you may be talking close to field goal range.
Yeah. There's the snap, the drop. Ben Anderson will scramble, keep it himself up to the 33-yard line. You would be looking at a 50-yard field goal from here, and they are sending the kicking unit onto the field. This would be a career long for Caden Davis.
It's the punt.
They're going to punt. I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
So Caden Davis handles both the kicking and punting duties for this team, but they have sent out the punting unit. Faulkner going to play field position and trust its defense. They need it to check up, and now you only net 13 yards. So in the end, does it work out? Who knows? Kind of hard to project.
Yeah. one of those difficult situations, difficult calls. You really don't want to go for it on 4th and 8 from that line. But and again, if you take the field goal and you miss, they get the ball at the kick
50,
spot.
yeah.
So that's a tough call. Early in a game, I think that's probably the right call. See if you can pin them deep, and that didn't work out. Like you said, netting the punt only 13 yards.
So the offense on the field now for Thomas More. There's the snap and fakes the give, throws it over to the tight end, and big yardage on the first play. And he'll finally be drugged down across midfield. But that is number 89, Mike Kirch, the tight end from Cincinnati, Ohio, with a 32-yard gain on the first snap of the game for Thomas More. Twin stack either side. There's the snap, Espinoza the give. He looks for room, can't find it. He will now work back over left guard and actually get something out of that on that Le'Veon Bell type run.
Malik Jarrett on the run there, and you see the offense that this Thomas More team wants to play with the pace, getting the call in, and they're looking to get the call in, get the play going, keeping this defense on the field.
Awaiting the snap. 3 receivers. Man in motion from the far side to the near. Now we'll motion right back. There is the give to Malik Jarrett again. He'll be stacked up and taken down by Jamichael Morgan and some friends. Short of the 40-yard line. It's going to make it 3rd and about 3.
And I know it's one thing you talked about with both Joel and Grace in pregame here was the way this defense has been playing for the Eagles, that they've done a good job as far as keeping points off the board. They have given up some yards, but they've been able, once that ball gets in close, kind of around the 30-yard line, they really dig in and don't allow too many more yards for the opposing offense.
Twins to the right, 1 to the left. Man out of the gun is Espinoza. He's got a man next to him to his left, and now the tight end motions back over to the left as well. The give to Jarrett. Nothing at first, but the second effort's going to get him there as he crosses the 40 to the 39-yard line. He might be just a yard shy, but what a great second effort on the surge by Malik Jarrett.
Yeah, and if you can see his feet, they are constantly moving. He's constantly just hunting and pecking and trying to get behind a lineman to try to find any break that he can, and he turned what would have been a run of no gain or maybe even a loss to gaining 2 yards on that run.
4th down and 1, 3 receivers in the formation. Jarrett is the back next to Espinoza. Espinoza takes the snap, fakes the give, finds the tight end, stuck immediately by Chris Thompson, and the Faulkner defense holds.
Great read by Chris Thompson. You knew that's not going to be a long pass on 4th down. He makes a great read, explodes on it, and holds on for the tackle for loss.
And I think the official came over from the far side and said incomplete. It looked like the ball may have popped out at the end there. So either way, getting at the ball at the spot. The only question is what the Carter Moles, the statistician, punches into the computer at this point. So I think he signaled no catch.
In the stats, it's going as a complete pass.
Fair enough.
For a loss of 2 yards.
Carter Moles says it, and so it is. Out of the gun goes Ben Anderson. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. There is the give. Tim Cody is the back on this one, and he'll surge up to the 45-yard line, a gain of 4 yards on the run. That'll make it 2nd and 6, and that's the big thing for Faulkner. You've seen the big plays, but if they can consistently get 4 yards of play and stay ahead of the chains, this is a really tough offense to deal with.
And I think ultimately that's what this offense wants to do, run the football and then come off the play action to get the passing game going.
4 receivers in the formation for Anderson this time. Man across his face. He'll give it to him on the jet sweep action. And that is Caleb Jones, who will get the first down run up to the 46-yard line. Jones, the transfer from Jacksonville State University, a native of Collinsville, Alabama, same hometown as Faulkner head coach Rob Gray. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Anderson out of the gun again. Tim Cody still the back with him. Anderson takes the snap, looks, has time, and throws it a little too far out in front of Tim Cody. He'd gotten his shoulders turned around, and if Cody had been able to get his shoulders back, he's got some room to run there.
Yeah, and that on that particular pass, Anderson's feet, he shuffled his feet one way, didn't get his body really reset to make that throw, so it was a little off where he couldn't make that catch. But we saw good protection on that for Anderson. Really kind of seen that to this point, pretty good protection when he's dropped back to pass. He's had decent time to read the defense and get the ball out.
Out of the gun goes Ben Anderson, takes the snap. There's the give. Tim Cody working left side, drives his legs, gets up to the 45-yard line. A gain of just one. It's going to make it 3rd down and 9. Again, Faulkner averaging just about 3 yards per carry in the run game this season. They have had a hard time getting it going, and we talked about it in pregame. They got something moving last week with Styles Hughes, but Hughes injured in that game. Just notice that it's not Tanner Glisson in at center. It is 55 in at center for Faulkner. Tanner Glisson, I see on the sideline, not in a uniform.
55 is Colin Dean.
So Colin Dean is at center. Snaps, drops, looks, scrambles, throws, and caught by Caleb Jones. That's a 1st down.
They're going to mark him a yard short. 4th down and 1 from the 36-yard line, or 37-yard line, rather, trying to make the 36.
So 4th and 1. We'll see what they have here. You're definitely not punting in this situation. This is sort of the thing about the offense they run, though. On 4th and 1, they don't go under center. They're going to give it to the big back, Jonathan Bolt, and then he'll surge on the second effort. Might get there, but you're going to get a flag.
Flag near side, and I agree with you 100% on a 4th and 1. You don't go under center. You're losing really 4 yards, and it allows the defense to adjust to what you're doing. But we have some Faulkner players clapping coming out of that.
We'll await the White Hats official signal. Offsides against Thomas Moore. That's going to make it a 1st down. So Faulkner with another 1st down. They'll move the ball up to, should be around the 32-yard line, and it will be. So I think Bolton would have had it on the run, but this is better because you net more yards.
Absolutely.
2 to the right, 2 to the left. Ben Anderson out of the gun. Takes the snap. Looks. Now he'll bail. Works left. He's got room and throws it over. That's Javion Tucker sitting down on that hook route. And Javion Tucker with the touchdown. A 32-yard strike as Javion Tucker just runs that little hook pattern, sets on it, and then makes the cut inside the safety. Nobody gets anywhere near him. His 6th touchdown in the last 6 quarters of play.
That was a great job by Tucker coming back to Anderson, sees he's having to run. It comes back to him, like you said, he sits down on that route wide open, nobody really around him. Great job by Anderson, keeping his eyes up, getting the ball to him, and then Tucker, we see the athleticism to finish it from there.
Extra point up and good. Faulkner with the 7-0 lead. We pause. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle football.
Training tomorrow's teachers, ministers, and scientists, guiding future business leaders to positively impact our global economy, teaching healthcare professionals to improve patient outcomes, coaching athletes to give their best on and off the field, men and women learning how to succeed wherever their dreams take them. That's Faulkner University. With over 70 undergraduate and graduate degree programs, you'll find your calling, all in a Christian learning environment. Faulkner University. Discover more at faulkner.edu.
Stop. Faulkner ready to kick it away after the 32-yard touchdown strike from Ben Anderson to Javion Tucker. Tucker's 7th touchdown of the season. Caden Davis kicks it away. Fielded in the end zone to the 10. Up to the 20, and put down there.
Duck at the 20.
Trying to get a number on that man.
It's 8 or 9.
It's 11.
All right,
Caleb
11.
Jones.
I was wrong on both accounts.
Caleb Jones, who had a catch on the previous drive, gets down there on special teams and puts the return man down. And that's a big momentum boost for a defense going onto the field after seeing a hit like that.
It is. Kind of gets you fired up, gets you ready mentally to go back out on that field and know that that's what your job is, to go out and make hits like that and stop this team. And we'll see what Espinoza and this offense has in this next drive.
21-yard line is where they will set up shop. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 backs in the backfield flanking Espinoza. Fakes the give, throws it. He's got a man wide open, and it's a foot race, and the Eagles will run him down, but he'll get all the way to the 26-yard line. And that was a big catch and run for Freddie Johnson. Somebody blew a coverage, and the man from Cincinnati had plenty of room.
That's exactly what it was, blown coverage, expecting a safety help there in the middle of the field on that little slight post. Wasn't there, and a big gain. Now another wide open pass.
Wow. 79 yards in 2 plays. No resistance from the defense. Preston Agee, the man from Alexandria, Kentucky, makes that catch and goes in. And it is a 7-6 game just like that.
And same difficulty on both plays. Blown coverage. Agee wide open down the seam there from the tight end spot. And then that long pass, same thing, just a blown coverage. Kick is up and good, and that ties this ball game with 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I think we have an idea of what kind of game we might be in for today.
Looks like it.
We'll see what kind of adjustments we pull. It's Faulkner Sports Network. Good grief, how do you give up that?
I don't know if there's anything I like better than good barbecue. Full Moon has the best barbecue and best smoked wings in town, and those onion rings are out of this world. Go by after the game and use your ticket for a buy one, get one free barbecue sandwich. Say hi to Chris in person at 7660 East Chase Parkway or give him a call at 334-676-5999.
Might have been one of the kids. As we ready to see Thomas More kick it away. Thomas More spent virtually no time trailing. I mean, it was 2 plays, and they answered immediately. So we'll see what Faulkner can come away with here. When you look at that, the drive summary is simple.
Yeah,
2 plays,
about as simple as it gets.
79 yards. But it's interesting I want to see as we go through our live stats here, the time differential in the actual time they trailed. It looks like our live stats are not pulling up the timestamp on when Faulkner scored its first touchdown. Or its only touchdown at this point, as that ball's caught at the 15 and fumbled. And now Drexlen Allen picks it back up, stiff arms a man, and gets to the outside. And Drexlen Allen went from muffing it to a pretty solid return.
Yeah. I think the muff actually benefited on that particular play.
Well, I mean, nobody expects you to dribble the football.
Yeah.
So it helped in that instance. No, your timestamp, they trailed for 29 seconds. So that's pretty effective.
That is.
Ball on the 31-yard line. That's going to be DeMarcus Johnson out wide to the right. So Tyler Wilson back in the game in the slot. Javion Tucker wide to the left. More of a pistol look as Bolton is behind Anderson here. There's the give to Bolton, and he'll surge ahead to the 35-yard line. Bolton is a transfer from Alcorn State, and he's a guy that they really felt like was going to come in and take over, kind of lead back. He hasn't had the easiest time getting going. They've had their offensive line issues and a number of things. And, look, there's a lot of other capable running backs back there with him. But that kind of run right there, that 4-yard bruising run, they expect that Bolton can do that pretty routinely.
And it'd be nice for sure. The 220-pound back, certainly capable of that type of run.
And see, that time, Bolton can't get his legs going, and he loses yardage.
You can't get your legs going when you've got defenders around you as soon as you get the ball.
Yeah, and now you're 3rd and long again. So Faulkner, 3rd and about 7.
And we can talk all day about, well, you build the passing game off the run game, and typically that's absolutely true. But either way, it depends on how well your offensive line is blocking in front of you. If they allow somebody through, neither one of them's getting going.
Twins right, Twins left. Man out of the gun is Ben Anderson. Anderson takes the snap, drops, looks, fires. Javion Tucker on that comeback route again, and a first down for Javion Tucker.
Nice timing throw. Anderson out to Tucker, got that ball out of his hand, out of necessity, mind you, but ball was out of his hand before Tucker made his break. He makes it, finds the football. Nice first down catch for him.
Twins to the right, one to the left, and they'll make a change here as Garrett Orr will check in. Sean Vincent checks out. So it will be Twins right, one left, but it's the Tyler Wilson in the slot. Pistol look again. Anderson takes the snap. There's the give to John Bolton. And Bolton surges ahead to the 47-yard line.
And those kind of runs on first down make everything so much easier for the offense. You pick up 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards, man, that opens up the entire playbook, and you're not having to begin to look at, okay, what are we going to do on 3rd and possibly long in that situation?
So 2nd and 5 now. A receiver to the left, and you're going to go trips to the right. Bolton, the back, is in the slot to the right. So empty backfield. There's the snap. Looks, fires, incomplete, intended for Tyler Wilson. Wilson wanted a pass interference penalty, did not get it, so 3rd down and 5.
No, that was nice defense by number 6, 7 Blue. All on that route coming across. Does a nice job sticking with the receiver.
Trips right, one left here on 3rd and 5. Anderson out of the gun. Now they'll check with the sideline. Out of the gun here as we await the snap. He'll drop. He'll look. He has to scramble. Now he flips it up and kind of floated a little too high and let the defense get there. And so Devin Murray gets maybe a yard, if anything, and that's going to bring the punting unit onto the field.
Yeah, again, Anderson didn't necessarily have time, had to just kind of loop that ball out there, as you mentioned, and once you do that, defense has time to react, and there's nothing really that you could do. He just did a nice job, Murray did, bringing that ball in, making them have to make the tackle.
Ball sets on the 47-yard line as Faulkner readies to punt it away. Caden Davis in. He netted just 13 yards on his first punt as it went into the end zone. There's the snap, and Davis gets the punt off. Good high kick this time. Fair catch called for and made right about the 23, 24-yard line officially, where Thomas More will set up. And if you're Faulkner, the bar is low right now versus your last defensive possession, where it was 2 plays, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
At least make him go 3 plays.
Yeah, and listen, it's a mixed bag, but the passing game has been, incredibly effective so far for this Thomas More team. They're 4 out of 4 for 109 yards and a touchdown through the air. It's when they decided to try to go run on the short yardage situation that the defense was able to stand up. And now you're going to get flags coming from all over the place.
So, false start on the offense. That'll back them up 5 yards.
So 1st and 15. So far, though, Espinoza looks like he's throwing 7-on-7 out there.
He really does, and effectively on that last drive he was.
Yeah.
Just those 2 blown coverage plays.
Big tight end is in at the wing right now. There's the throw over the top, working off the screen, and He will get back near the original line of scrimmage. That is number 18, Preston Agee, who makes that catch. So working from the 24-yard line, make it 2nd and 10. Twins to either side. Espinosa will work out of the gun. Actually, let me correct here. That's not Espinosa in at quarterback at the moment, is it? It is not.
I don't think – no, it's not.
It's not. They made the quarterback change. That's Rayvon Vaden in there, who is the number 2 quarterback. So looks like they have at least a package that Vaden works.
Yeah, when you look at their numbers, like you said, there's at least a package for him. They kind of bring him in and do a few things. He's got some pretty good, decent passing numbers so far on the season.
Yeah, 51 throws, so he's not just like a wildcat quarterback. He's completed 49% of his throws for 303 yards on the season. 4 touchdowns versus 1 interception. So this looks like it may be a Rayvon Vaden drive as we get to the end of the first quarter. We pause. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle football.
A&P Automotive is family-owned and in the same location since 1985. We strive to be your one-stop shop for all your auto needs. You don't have to spend big money for a nice car. Our prices start at $3,995. We have several lenders and in-house financing available. Visit us online at anpautomotive.com.
That's from that Tom seasoning I put. Tackle made.
Give was up the middle for the first down for Thomas Moore. It was Jarrett on the carry.
Twin stack left, twin stack right. Vaden out of the gun. Drops, looks, scrambles. Flag in the backfield in the area of what is usually a hold, and we'll see as the white hat sorts it out.
Call coming in to the referee. And it is a hold on the offense, so that'll back Thomas Moore up 10 yards. So now we're looking 1st and 20 for Thomas More.
Well, and you talked about pregame. The penalties have been an issue for Thomas More. They'll go empty backfield here on 1st and 20 with Vaden out of the gun. Faulkner's defense struggling to find answers right now. Vaden scrambles, and he will go up the middle. Really more of a design run on that play, I think, for Vaden, up to the 45-yard line. So back into Faulkner territory.
You see the shiftiness and suddenness of Vaden as he's making his way through defenders.
Twins left, twins right. Vaden will go out of the gun again. Three down linemen for Faulkner. Actually, two down linemen, and they're bringing Varner off the edge, standing up. And Varner nearly got him. Vaden eludes two tacklers on would-be sacks, and finally is taken down at the 40-yard line. It's Darius Williams, I believe, that gets him.
Yep.
But Kalante Varner blew past him, and then a second lineman couldn't get his hands on him, and Vaden just so shifty.
That's a great job by the defensive line getting pressure on Vaden in the backfield with just three guys rushing. Do a tremendous job there, as you said, flushing him out and ultimately makes a tackle after a short gain.
Man down, though, for Faulkner, one of those defensive linemen. I do not have the number on who it is, as the training staff is tending to him, and Coach Rob Gray out there to check on him as well. So as they tend to him, we'll see how quick of a move we've got here. It's going to be one of those linemen that was there, and Kalante Varner, again, had great pressure on that play. And I don't know if that may be Kalante that's down here, because that's kind of the area that he surged past.
It was.
He is sitting up, which is good. Faulkner defense has forced a third down, and that is number 92, Terry Brown. So Terry Brown will be helped off the field. Looks like Shinkoni Lewis into the game to replace Terry Brown. So Ja'Kai Stevens, Shinkoni Lewis, Kalante Varner, the three linemen in the game for the Faulkner defense. Faulkner has inserted another big body in there in number 22, Jacoby Lightfoot. Man in motion, comes behind the quarterback, Vaden. Vaden flips up a little, almost a bubble screen look. Darius Williams wraps him up, ball's out. Did they blow it dead? No. Now there's two flags that have come out. Are they calling it unnecessary roughness on the tackle? Because he lifted him?
That would be my guess. Lifted him and throwing him kind of over his head.
So that goes from a loose ball turnover to probably a personal foul here against Faulkner.
That was a nice play design for Thomas More. You saw the back, number 8, Malik Jarrett, going on the motion there and thinking on a screen out to the flat for him. He's looking for the ball. And then you slip that receiver coming from that same direction right in, almost in front of him by about 5 yards, and he gets the ball and makes his way upfield.
Waiting the white hat, officially coming with the signal, and they're going to step off yardage here. Personal foul against Faulkner. And the German suplex is still illegal. The NAIA inducting WWE United States champion Bobby Lashley into its Hall of Fame this year. But the German suplex illegal in this particular venue. But I think Bobby Lashley would have been proud of that one.
He would have approved of that one. That was nice. Good technique.
It is also not legal, and Thomas More approves of the 15 yards and the first down. We'll pause for just a moment. Faulkner Sports Network.
I don't know if there's anything I like better than good barbecue. Full Moon has the best barbecue and best smoked wings in town, and those onion rings are out of this world. Go by after the game and use your ticket for a buy one get one free barbecue sandwich. Say hi to Chris in person at 7660 East Chase Parkway or give him a call at 334-676-5999.
So, first down for Thomas More after Faulkner penalized 15 yards for tackling too hard. 3 receivers to the right. Man in motion to the near side. Now swings back around to the right. Vaden looks. Vaden evades, and Vaden drops. Couple of guys in the area, but I think Vaden really just kind of gave himself up because he had nowhere to go.
Yeah. No sense trying to struggle and risk losing the football in that situation.
Taking their time getting the play in now on 2nd and 13. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, play clock all the way down to 14. There's the give. He'll go left tackle, plenty of room, and there's a flag going to be in the area of a hold.
And Faulkner players signaling for the hold.
Darius Williams having some words post-play there with one of the Thomas More players, and let's see the official call, but Thomas More is backing up, so we anticipate the hold call. Lot of penalties early on here, in particular against Thomas More, as you take a look at them as a team. This one not yet inputted into the stats, but once it's there, that's going to be 4 penalties for 31 yards already. 4 receivers in the formation for Vaden.
2nd and 23 now after the penalty.
And the officials' brief conversation. And the brief conversation is lasting a little longer.
Turns into a dinner conversation.
Yep. Lots of good places to eat in Montgomery, boys. They'll all be closed if you don't get the game moving. They're going to reset the spot here because it is from the spot of the foul.
Yes.
Not from the previous yard line.
Right.
So the ball is going to go to the 33-yard line.
So that'll make it 2nd and 21, I believe, instead of the 2nd and 23.
4 receivers in the formation. Vaden takes the snap, tosses left. He'll go to the edge and surge forward. That is Jarrett again.
It's a nice run by Jarrett. Another
There's
flag.
Let's see the call on this one. Is Thomas More going backwards again? This is the 5th penalty against Thomas More, if it is indeed against Thomas More. And I kind of wonder what this is going to be because the refs actually got the notepad out on this one. A notepad, yep. Making a note. John wants Red Robin? All right.
All
John's
right.
vote has been logged. Red Robin, home of the bottomless fries. I just gave free advertising to
You
Red
did.
Robin. If they want to pay a sponsorship, I'll yum all day long. This game brought to you by Red Robin. Yum.
Offsetting penalties, apparently.
All right, pair of offsetting penalties. Let's reset things.
So that last, 4 minutes was
What you
useless?
think you saw, you did not
Yeah.
see. 3rd down and 13. Trips to the right, one to the left. Vaden awaits the snap. Drops. Looks. Rolls out. Sets his feet. Throws down the field. Had a man incomplete. So had a man flash open and threw it a little high. And that's going to make it 4th down and presumably the field goal unit onto the field here for what would be a 43-yard attempt. 43-yard attempt coming. Kicker there should be Brooks Curran. And
is
it's
good.
up and good. A 43-yarder from Brooks Curran.
It's actually number 98, Luke Iden.
Never mind then. Luke Iden with the field goal. Luke Iden. That's his first of the season. And it's a 10-7 lead for the Saints of Thomas More. This is the Faulkner Sports Network.
My name is Mikey Peavy. I'm the 3rd generation here at A&P Auto. Looking for a good used pickup truck? We got them. A good used car? We got them. A good SUV? We got them. Come see us at A&P Automotive today.
Drexel and Allen, hard time fielding that ball.
Shakes it loose.
Yeah, Allen got the ball right around the goal line, had a hard time fielding it, still surged forward. And got a good return out of it,
Gets
up
it
to
out.
about the 28.
Out close to 30-yard line. Pretty good starting field position for the Eagles here
Never
on this
mind.
drive.
Never mind. They say he went out of bounds at the 23.
Forget all of that then.
Yep.
23, average starting position.
Yeah,
now for-
that's right. So ball on the 23-yard line.
We have an offensive line out there.
Yeah, and you got a play clock down to 10 seconds, so all your skill guys are having to rush out there. They just reset the clock to 25. Now the clock starts. Okay. There is the give. Left guard up to the 30-yard line. That is Tim Cody. So a good run on first down, a 7-yard sprint for Tim Cody.
Good run, good blocking up front for Cody, able to stick his leg in the ground, make that one cut, and get upfield.
Anderson out of the gun. Twins left, one right. Man in motion, again comes behind Anderson. That's DeMarcus Johnson. Anderson with a design run. Left side, he'll keep it and get maybe a yard. So make it 3rd down.
Going to be close to first down yardage, looks like, if they go off the spot from the side here.
Yeah, I thought at first he turned the corner and then got chopped down immediately. They're going to give him the 33.
They're calling it first down.
How? They haven't even moved the chains. All right, something's weird because he definitively needed the 34 on the other side, and he got the 33. Sure.
One stretch of chains, 9 yards. Shh, move on.
Sure. That's Caleb Jones going right side, the receiver lined up at the quarterback spot. And he is stopped short. So 2nd down and 10. Okay, so if you remember, the drive started at the 23. So the 33 should have been what he needed.
Yes.
But the marker was definitely on the 34. So I don't know. Four receivers in the formation.
There's all kind of stuff going on before snap on that one.
So Tyler Wilson was supposed to be coming across the face of the quarterback, and the snap hit him. Fortunately for Faulkner, it's a dead ball penalty.
Fortunately for Faulkner, 4 of the offensive linemen jumped out of their
Yeah.
position and moved.
The false start saves Faulkner from the fumble.
It really does.
Wow. You don't see that one very much. Like a flaming reindeer. Ball from the 28-yard line. Trips to the left, one to the right. Ben Anderson out of the gun. Takes the snap. There's the give to Cody. He'll go right side and get stacked up. And that's the hard part, is you're already in a hole on 2nd down, way behind the chains. And you get you get a run play that just gets you maybe 2 yards, and now you're 3rd and 12 again.
The whole point of the draw in that situation is to try to catch the defense off guard a little bit. Like you said, 2nd and 15, they may be thinking pass. You do a draw play up the middle. Something might happen there, and you catch more of those yards than you would otherwise.
Anderson looks.
Good time.
Throws. So Tyler Wilson had to come back to the ball, and he couldn't make the catch. So 4th down, and Faulkner will punt it away.
Great job up front by that offensive line. Had Anderson plenty of time to look at the field and throw it. Tyler Wilson just can't come up with it on that end.
Yeah, he had to adjust to the ball, come back to it. Couldn't quite get turned around for it, and I think a defender may have gotten in the area there as well. So Faulkner will punt it away. Return man back on his own 35-yard line. Caden Davis has his toes right on the 17-yard line. Davis, high spinning punt, drives the man back to the 27 where he will make the catch and now get around Dawson Mosley, get to the outside, and return up to right around the 34-yard line where Thomas More will start this possession. See if this is nope, there's a flag.
Why wouldn't there be?
Let's see, the white hat signaling against Thomas More. Holding against Thomas More, so back him up. So originally he was on the 34-yard line, I think.
And it being like the other, a spot foul. See how far this one backs.
I think that's the kind of thing that you add to the end of the run there, is it not?
Should be.
I don't know. Because they threw the flag, they called holding, they accepted the holding. Where's the ball at? All right, now they're going to start marking it off.
Back at the 34.
Well, right now they're on the 27-yard line. A lot of conversation today. Red Robin, the leader in the clubhouse for the officials' post-game meal.
Side judge comes in. I believe he's dissenting view going Chili's.
Ooh, hard to argue with the baby back ribs. Umpire says Chili's. So they'll step it off.
It's going to go all the way back to about the 18-yard line.
Yep. So ball on the 18. Twins to the right, one to the left. Vaden back in at quarterback. Kind of makes me wonder, like, is this a planned thing? Because Espinoza was 5 for 5 for 115 yards and a touchdown. Hard to go away from that guy.
It really is, especially with the last two drives that he really had.
So that's a run of 3 yards to the 21 is going to bring up 2nd down and 7. Trips to the right, Twins to the left, empty backfield for Vaden.
Yeah, and it would especially be surprising if you're going to have this package or this run for Vaden. Probably wouldn't be two consecutive, if it were planned, two consecutive drives.
Man in motion. Fakes the give on the jet. Now he'll hunt and peck and lose yardage. I mean, he gets maybe 2. We'll see it. He's so shifty that when he's wrapped up, he would have lost yardage, but he manages to surge forward in the midst of the tackle and picks up a couple of yards. Out of the gun. Trips bunch to the right, one to the left. There's the snap. Drops, looks, rolls, pressure, high, off the hands of the intended target. That is Malik Jarrett. Incomplete, and now 4th down, and the punting unit onto the field.
Nice stand defensively for the Eagles on that Saint possession. Able to get them on the 3 and out, and should end up with pretty good field position here on this next drive.
Ball on the 24-yard line. There's the snap. Faulkner will let that one roll.
Nice punt on the roll.
And that's good that they let it roll because there were only 9 Eagles on the field for the play. And it rolls all the way to the 20. So 11 versus 9, not good odds.
Yeah, those numbers don't exactly add up. Now you're starting all the way back at the 20 off the great punt.
Thomas More takes advantage of the power play.
They do.
So we'll see what Faulkner can do. 80 yards away from pay dirt, down 3 with 5:13 remaining in the opening half. Twins to the left, 1 to the right. Ben Anderson out of the gun. He's got a back to his right, so Tyler Wilson in motion. There's the give, working right side. He'll surge ahead to maybe a 2-yard gain, perhaps. We'll see if they give him anything, actually, as the official. They will.
They will.
Oh.
A couple of yards, looks like.
No, they don't move the stick at all. They say no gain.
Never mind then.
All right, 2nd down and 10. Offense for Faulkner largely has been entirely that first drive. They have struggled since. 81 yards through the air for the Eagles.
And 32 of that on one play.
Yeah. 5 receivers in the formation now from Ben Anderson. Takes the snap, drops, looks, scrambles, sacked. 42 on the sack for Thomas More.
Axel Bell, the 6'2", 250-pound defensive lineman from Sunman, Indiana.
Axel Bell is a football name.
It is.
Phenomenal.
That is amazing.
That's an all-name team consideration right there. or twins to the right, twins to the left. Third and, the parking lot for Faulkner. Third about 17 here, it looks like. Anderson out of the gun, takes the snap, looks, rolls, in trouble, shifts back, and dropped right about a yard gain. And so Faulkner will punt it away.
Seth Noel on the stop for the Saints. Now, Caden Davis will punt with his feet planted firmly on the goal line.
So, Davis awaits, catches, kicks. Fair catch, called for him, and he muffed it. He muffed it right at midfield. He took his eyes off the ball.
Faulkner fall.
He looked at
He waited
the
too
gunner.
long.
I think that's the Tyler Wilson that recovers it.
Waited too long to make the fair catch, let the defenders get a little too close, and then you've got to do it all at once.
It's actually Josh Taylor, I'm told, on the recovery. And Faulkner, new life. Can they do anything with it? Ball on the 49-yard line, their best field position in a long time.
Maybe a little bit of momentum now on that turnover.
So Josh Taylor on the recovery. 4 receivers. There's the snap. Fakes the give.
Picked
and
off.
Throws it right back. An interception. Crosses midfield. Hurdles a defender or a tackler. Shakes another tackler. Cuts back the other way. Still working. Still working. Still working.
Colton Reeves.
All the way down
the way.
to the 1-yard line for Colton Reeves. So the momentum swings back immediately for Thomas More. Colton Reeves nearly got it back into the end zone. Would have been about a 60-yard touchdown return. As is, he'll fall a yard shy of that, or 2 yards shy, and set Thomas More up with excellent field position with 2:34 remaining in the half. Faulkner could not take advantage of the break and, in the very worst of ways, swung the pendulum back the other way.
The interception is one thing, but allowing the return all the way down to the 2-yard line is a whole different story for this defense, having to come right back out on the field.
Out of the gun, that is Espinoza back in there again. He'll take the snap. That is a touch pass and a touchdown to number 2. That is Craig Wills with the 2-yard touchdown catch from Blake Espinoza. And the 5'9", 175-pound senior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, makes it a 16-7 lead for Thomas More. So the extra point pending here. I don't know what the conversation's about. He scored. I don't see a flag on the field. Whitehead is frustrated. Someone has entered Outback into the dinner conversation. He said, I thought we were going to Chili's. You sure? No baby back ribs. All right. Slowly strides. We await the official word. Personal foul against Faulkner. Personal foul against Thomas More. Offset.
Offset. Touchdown is good. All right, let's get the extra point.
All right. Offsetting penalties change nothing. And the extra point attempt coming from Iden. Up and good. 17-7. Thomas More leading Faulkner on the Faulkner Sports Network.
I don't know if there's anything I like better than good barbecue. Full Moon has the best barbecue and best smoked wings in town, and those onion rings are out of this world. Go by after the game and use your ticket for a buy one get one free barbecue sandwich. Say hi to Chris in person at 7660 East Chase Parkway or give him a call at 334-676-5999.
Ball teed up on the 35 is Thomas More. 17 unanswered points right now. They lead Faulkner 17-7. 2:29 remaining in the opening half. Faulkner needing an answer here because Thomas More is going to get the ball to start the second half as well. And that's a return up to about the 23-yard line for Chris Thompson. So ball on the 23-yard line. Anderson will go out of the gun again. Looks like Bray Washington into the game, lined up wide to the right. Javion Tucker to the left. The snap, the give, left tackle Drexel Allen going nowhere. Ball's out. Did they blow it dead? Surely they blew it dead.
Yeah, they blew it dead.
They pushed him back 3 yards, so. Second down and 10.
Side judges graciously say no gain on the play, so 2nd and 10.
Yeah. 4 receivers in the formation now. Bolton is the back next to Anderson. Twins to either side. 4 down lineman for Thomas More. Pressure. Throws it out to Bolton. He'll try to get the edge. Gets a couple of yards. Get him up to the 26-yard line. Give him 3, so 3rd and 7. Nope, 30, 36.
Yep, 37.
Trips left, 1 right, 3rd and 7. Down to 1:35 in this half. Clock is stopped as Bolton went out of bounds. The snap. Anderson will scramble. Could get there.
Got out
will
of bounds
get there, and now he gets to the 40. So Ben Anderson with a 17 or a Yep,
17.
17-yard scramble. Anderson will go out of the gun again.
More importantly, gets out of bounds, saves those timeouts.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Takes a snap, drops, looks, climbs in the pocket, now takes off and scrambles and gets up to about the 48-yard line. They may give him the 49. Yep, 49-yard line. Faulkner hurrying up. Trips right, 1 left. Out of the gun. There's the snap. Anderson throws it over to Bolton, who's got to wait for it as he had to throw it over a defender.
Still doesn't get the first down. Inbounds now at the 49-yard line. Clock's Got a timeout on Faulkner after that play.
Yeah, going to have to take that timeout there. 58.6 remaining in the half, and if you're Faulkner, you gotta get points on this drive.
Yeah,
it's been 17 unanswered for Thomas More, and they get the ball to start the second half.
You've got to think points. You got to think a way to get. Look, Javion Tucker, you've got to find a way to get him going again, get him open, and football's got to try to find your playmakers at this point, and he's definitely one of those for this offense.
No question.
Third and 1, entire playbook is open to you at this point. You can run it. You've got timeouts in your pocket. 2 of those left.
They don't even need the 50.
No, just short of the 50.
Just short of the 50. So a little less than a yard here. We'll call it 3rd and 1. Two receivers in the formation. Big set in.
Heavy set of line in, and that fullback in play.
Give us to Bolton, and he's got the first down.
Trying to hustle up and clock the ball. The clock
Anderson under center takes the snap and spikes it.
Good job using that time for the clock stops while you reset the chains. And only 3 seconds go off the clock there.
2nd down and 10. Trips right, 1 left. Out of the gun goes Ben Anderson. Takes the snap. Scrambles right. Looks. Throws. Incomplete. 3rd down now. 3rd and 10. Twins to the right, 1 to the left. Now Tyler Wilson flexes out there to the left, so Twins either side. Anderson checks with the sideline. 43.8 left in the half. Faulkner really needing something here on 3rd and 10. Anderson drops. Anderson looks. Anderson throws. Caught.
First
Javion
down.
Tucker, and there's a flag in the backfield. In the area of Ben Anderson. Normally a hold.
More than likely a hold.
The only other thing you ever see back there is a hands to the face. But Faulkner's retreating.
So 3rd and 10 is hard enough, but 3rd and 20 is even worse.
3rd and 20. Anderson out of the gun. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Takes the snap. Drops. Looks. Flicks it over to John Bolton. John Bolton surges ahead and gets out of bounds around the
Give him, looks like
44.
44 is what side judge is there at anyway.
You'd like, and he got what he could get, but you would like to see Bolton turn his shoulders and finish that because he's 4 yards away from a first down, and now you're 4th and 4.
On the other side, though, you were 3rd and 20. You're now 4th and 4. You're at least manageable. You've got a lot of different things open to you in this spot, and Coach Gray is going to take a timeout and talk it over with this offense.
As they take a timeout, so will we. Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle football.
P Automotive is family owned and in the same location since 1985. We strive to be your one-stop shop for all your auto needs. You don't have to spend big money for a nice car. Our prices start at $3,995. We have several lenders and in-house financing available. Visit us online at anpautomotive.com.
Fourth and 4. Ben Anderson out of the gun. Takes the snap. Looks. Fires incomplete. And now the danger is Thomas Moore could hit a play or two and get in field goal range.
30 seconds essentially still left, and the 29.2 still left here in the half. You're exactly right, and they've still got 3 timeouts, so they don't have to throw to the sidelines. They can throw middle of the field, do whatever they want here, and still get a shot at a field goal at worst, and still in pretty good field position, starting at the 46-yard line.
44.
Yes, 44.
Yeah,
yes.
sorry.
Yes.
44. Going that way. Twins left, one right. Espinoza is the quarterback. 3 down linemen look for Faulkner. Give is to the back, Jarrett. Actually, that's not Jarrett. They went away from Jarrett. That is number 26, Dre Kissel. Now to the 48, so a good run first down, and there's a timeout taken by Thomas Moore. And again, you're there. You might be able to even get in a position where you take a shot or two at the end zone.
Yeah, but that play, they took a lot of time calling that timeout. Had 29.2 down to 15.8.
Well, that kind of hurts your end zone chances now.
It does. Now you're playing for the field goal essentially at this point. 2, possibly 3 plays before you get to that point.
Ball on the 48-yard line. Twins to the left. Twins to the right. And they're going to go stack both sides. For Faulkner, they're in need of something disruptive here.
Corners up on these receivers. We'll see what the safeties do on the stack. It's a keeper.
Espinoza will keep it. When you got a timeout in your pocket, that's not a problem. And Espinoza gets the first down. Timeout taken immediately. Clock down to 9.9. Ball on the 44-yard line. That was a second timeout taken here. So 1 still left, which means you can hit a play in the middle of the field, call it, and set up your kicking unit. So, an inauspicious first half for Faulkner, who started strong. Took a 7-0 lead on the opening drive of the game. Since then, it's been 17 unanswered for Thomas Moore, and they're threatening to try to get back in field goal range and add more here in the waning seconds of the opening half. Out of the gun. Espinoza. Now the back is behind him. More of a pistol look. Fakes the give. Throws. Caught.
At the 40.
At the 40, and they take their timeout with 2.5 seconds left. This is a 57-yarder, or they're throwing to the end zone.
I think it's going to be a shot to the end zone.
Yeah.
That 57 yards, just a little more
It's
than
a
I
lot.
think you'd be comfortable with going.
Well, and here's the thing. Luke Iden is listed on the depth chart as the number 2 kicker. Hadn't kicked all year. Came in today, hit a field goal, has a couple extra points. If old boy can come in and drill from 57, why is he your number 2?
That's true.
So, So that would be my question. So I would anticipate a throw to the end zone here. Either that or Luke Iden wins a car.
Yeah.
So Iden is standing there. I think he's telling him, I want to kick it.
Of course he is.
Let me kick it.
You miss a 57-yarder at the end of the half when you have a lead, no one cares.
Yeah. Nope, Luke Iden heads back to the sideline.
Did not win that argument with the coaching staff, apparently.
Well, we will see if we have a shot at the end zone or a trick play. What do we have here?
He looks at says, I have boot.
Look on the right side, Cameron Patterson. They don't have a height listed.
He
I'm
is
going to go
tall.
tall. Like, Cameron Patterson's got to be every bit of 6'7", 6'8". Number 17, near side of your screen.
How convenient. No height nor weight on him.
Yeah, this is our starting power forward. We brought him with us today. Throws picked off. And
Play's dead there. He's on his knees.
It's dead, but it is picked off by number 6, it would appear, for Faulkner, and that is Cordell King to end the half. So 17-7, Thomas More leads as we head to the half. Faulkner Sports Network.
Training tomorrow's teachers, ministers, and scientists. Guiding future business leaders to positively impact our global economy. Teaching healthcare professionals to improve patient outcomes. Coaching athletes to give their best on and off the field. Men and women learning how to succeed wherever their dreams take them. That's Faulkner University. With over 70 undergraduate and graduate degree programs, you'll find your calling, all in a Christian learning environment. Faulkner University. Discover more at faulkner.edu.
Here we are with FSN at the half. I'm your host, Trinity Thomas, along with David Turner. David, what have you been seeing from Faulkner's offense this first half?
The offense started out good there in the first quarter, getting that touchdown on that first drive. A 32-yard touchdown reception from Javion Tucker led to that first score of the ball game. And you felt that they had some things going there, but really from that point for this offense, it has been a slog. Things have kind of shut down. A run game, again, hasn't necessarily been there. Only averaging 3.4 yards per rushing play on the game, right in line with their season average, whereas Thomas More is getting 4.1 yards per play on their rushing attempts. Rushing yards is Faulkner's got 79 rushing yards, but how many more plays have they had to run to get that 79 yards for them? So it's really just been in that second quarter specifically, it was a slogfest offensively for them, just not really able to get a rhythm and feel going, it felt like, for Faulkner there in that second quarter.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of productivity from Thomas Moore's offense and their ability to just see the ball and find their target and get in the end zone. What do you think that Faulkner's defense could do better in order to, stop the run?
Well, Espinoza, the quarterback for Thomas More, Blaine Espinoza, is 7 of 8 for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns at this point in the ball game, completing 87.5% of your passes. Now, 53 of those came on the long touchdown and that one drive that went 70-plus yards to get their first score. You would think that in order for them to really disrupt some of this passing game and some of the timing, they've got to start getting a little bit better pressure in Espinoza's face, and that's going to be difficult because Espinoza is tall. He's 6'3", so it's going to be difficult for them to do that. And I think if they can get that pressure on him, don't necessarily have to get the sacks, but get in his face, make him have to move his feet and move around in the pocket just a little bit. I think that can disrupt this offense timing just enough to buy them a little time and make Thomas More a little bit less effective and efficient in their passing game.
Yeah, and finally, what do you think that we should expect for the second half of this game overall from both teams based on what we've seen? And even that towards the end, when they had that opportunity with that interception on that last drive of the half.
Thomas More, I think we're going to look to see probably more of the same from them. They've moved the ball fairly effectively. They went to I don't necessarily want to call him the backup quarterback, but that package quarterback in Ravion Vaden, and he moved the ball fairly well, but the offense, I think, had a little bit more trouble finding that rhythm with him in at the helm on those couple of drives. So we'll probably get another package or two of him here in the second half, but I would see them probably stick mostly with Espinoza because he has done a tremendous job moving the ball and finding his receivers, and everything's looked smoother with him on the field. So I would expect that for Thomas More. For Faulkner, the offensive line has done a better job of getting Ben Anderson time here in this first half. So I think that's obviously a good thing. Anderson's had time to look downfield and to do some of the things that they're looking to do. But so much of what Faulkner does depends on the running game. I think they've got to lean hard into it, especially in the beginning in the second half. And if they can get some of that going and something coming off of the play action in the passing game, they might get their way back into this ball game and get it to that one-score game. And then who knows? We saw 2 weeks ago exactly how that can go for this team. Once they get that rhythm, they can put up points.
Yeah, this has been the presentation of FSN at the half with Trinity Thomas and David Turner. We will see you with the second half presentation of Faulkner Sports Network, Faulkner Football, in a couple of minutes.
Back here live for the second half at Billy D. Hillier Stadium. Jeremy Smith alongside David Turner. Thomas More leading Faulkner 17-7 in this one, as 17 unanswered points from the Saints were the story of the first half after Faulkner scored on its opening drive. Caden Davis ready to kick it away. He'll send it back, field it at the 5-yard line. Up to the 20, still going 25, 30, still going 40, and run out of bounds around the 45-yard line. Excellent field position for Thomas More as they start this second half. You look at the numbers here for the Saints. They have run 26 plays for 199 yards. Faulkner has run 40 plays for 163 yards. The big moments of the half come down to 3 plays, 2 sequences. A 2-play, 79-yard drive for Thomas Moore's first touchdown, and then a 62-yard interception return for Thomas More down to the Faulkner 2 that set up the second touchdown. And those are really the defining moments of this first half so far. But, David Turner, as we look at sort of this Faulkner performance, you can look at all the numbers you want. They don't really tell the story of what has seemed to be a Faulkner team largely in disarray at particular intervals and at key moments.
Yeah, it has been. For the most part, it hasn't been terrible. The offensive line, in a lot of ways, has given Anderson good time to throw, but it's been a miscommunication here on a key play that set them back, or one little thing like that, and that's really taken the rails off of a lot of these drives. It's just one little play and one little mistake that's cost them really time of possession and getting any rhythm going offensively.
Out of the gun goes Espinosa. He has been very good in limited passes, 9 out of 10 for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. The interception was on the final heave of the half. And we'll go second down and 10 here. Kalante Werner in from the sideline, and that will run Emmanuel Allen off for Faulkner. Trips to the left, 1 to the right. Espinosa awaits the snap. He'll take it, looks, fires, incomplete. So 14:06 remaining in the third, makes it 3rd down and 10 on that incomplete pass.
Back behind Freddie Johnson, he had no shot of really being able to stop and get back to that football.
Couple of key guys out for Faulkner in this game. We talked about Styles Hughes pregame. We noted Colin Dean as your starting center. Tanner Glisson not in uniform in this ball game. And Akeel Rivers, our guy who's also with us on the Faulkner Sports Network, out with an injury in this one. So you've got some guys who've played a lot of reps that are not in there, and sometimes that creates some communication things, especially when you're talking about a position like center where Colin Dean is starting. And listen, there's the physical part of playing center,
and the mental aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time that's the guy making your line calls and things like that. So from the 45-yard line, the snap will come as they look to punt it away here and try to pin Faulkner back deep. Elgin Phillips, the punter. That one end under end will check up and roll back, so it's a fortuitous hop for Faulkner.
A little past the 20-yard line where it would be down, but we can't get past that 3rd down play where Skylar Henderson gets in the face of Espinosa, makes that play, blows that play up altogether, and makes the Saints have to punt, which that's the exact way this defense wanted to start the second half, getting them that field position, getting them the ball back without Thomas More putting points on the board. And we'll see if they've found something that they've changed here coming into the second half offensively to get things going again.
Ben Anderson out of the gun, takes the snap. There's the give. Corinthian Cunningham, first time we've seen him today. He'll get right back to the line and nothing more. The ground game continues to struggle for Faulkner as it has all year long.
And for the most part, it's really been when we've seen the struggle the most is when they're trying to get outside. Once they get out there, there's really been no blocking, and they've been at short runs. Where they've had their success has really come up the middle, where the offensive line they don't have to hold those blocks for quite as long, and it's a little bit easier for them to get that initial block going.
There's the give up the middle. Gain of about 3, going to make it 3rd and 7. You want to look at trends. It's interesting that Faulkner has allowed just 21 points in the second half. If you factor in overtime, they've allowed 24 points in the second half this year. Thomas More has allowed 69 in the second half. That was 38 just in the fourth quarters. Now, Thomas More has scored 79 points, 58 of their total 127 in the fourth quarter alone. So Thomas More has been a second-half team offensively. Faulkner's been a second-half team defensively, and you're going to get a flag in the area. The quarterback is Ben Anderson, was knocked down. Maybe you're looking at a roughing call here. We'll see. We await the white hat.
You'd think that'd be the only call from that, and the flag had to come from him, didn't it?
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. So it's a first down for Faulkner on a 3rd and 7. They convert off of a penalty, which has been a big part of the story.
It has.
In this ball game. 5 penalties for 38 yards prior to that one, and that doesn't count a couple of offsetting penalties. Yep. So, Thomas, it feels like you say, well, 38 yards isn't that many, but it's when they've come and the nature of them.
Well, you can tack 15 more onto that 38 right now. Now you've got first down for the Eagles starting at about the 36-yard line.
3 receivers in this formation. Bolton is the back behind him, and he will give to Bolton. Bolton gets the surge up to the 40, so about a 3-yard gain on that one. I said Bolton. He called Drexel Allen. I think, it was Bolton. All right. Dean confused me just for a moment. I thought Drexel Allen's not that big. There's a noticeable difference there.
A little bit of a size difference there.
Drexel Allen is 15. 5 plus 1 is 6. John Bolton is 6. So that's how I do the math in my head. I was told there would be none. Twins right. Twins left. Out of the gun goes Ben Anderson. Man in motion. It's to Tyler Wilson. Looks at Wilson. Now throw down the sideline. Javion Tucker, and he overthrew him.
Had the man on the sideline. Just could not make the throw.
If he floats that one up, Tucker's walking in.
Yeah, it's 6.
Yeah, he lays that in front, and Tucker can walk in. He had his defender beat by 5 steps.
Beat the initial corner off the spot, and the safety was looking more at the screen play than anything else. So they're moving up. There was literally nothing back there for Javion Tucker had he made that play.
Ball's on the 40-yard line. As we await this 3rd down and 7. Twins on either side. Anderson will be sacked. He tried to keep his eyes downfield, never tucked it and took off, lost 3 yards on the sack, 4th and 10, and Faulkner's going to punt. So Faulkner nets very little in terms of total yardage gained in that or on that possession. And we'll punt it away. The 15-yard penalty really the only movement of the ball in that sequence. He's got to pick the snap up off the ground, and he'll get it away and caught. Fair caught at the 32-yard line. Correction, the other side of the 30, the 28-yard line.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Oh, I do it all the time. I've been doing it for years. It's a real problem. You forget to flip the switch when you cross the 50. Ball on the 28-yard line. Trips to the left, one to the right. Espinoza is the quarterback. There's the snap, the give, right tackle toward the sticks, and he's brought down after he gets past the 6, and it's about an 11-yard run, maybe a 12, and give him a first down.
Easy 11 yards for the back of Jarrett there coming out of the backfield. Just no opposition as he made his way around the end until he got into the secondary.
And Malik Jarrett has consistently been the guy they've given the ball to today, and he's averaging over 4 yards a carry. There's the snap. Espinoza will keep it himself, and he will run for a first down, give 11 more yards into Faulkner territory to the 49-yard line.
Design run for Espinoza, and we see again that the little bit of speed that he has. We saw it with the backup in Vaden. But Espinoza showing, hey, I can do a little bit of that myself.
There's the snap, the give, left tackle, brought down at the 46-yard line. So it's going to make it second down and about 7. And you see the tempo right now for Thomas More. They see that defense reeling, and they're trying to apply the pressure. There's the snap, fakes the give, throws it left. Gully nearly knocked it down, but it's another first down. So,
and going right up to the line and at least setting up, it keeps Faulkner from really being able to make the substitutions they may want to make.
New defensive line group in for this play, and there's the give to Malik Jarrett. Jarrett still fighting for yardage. He'll get down inside the 35-yard line to about the 34. Player down. And he'll sprint off the field. That's Emmanuel Allen. Second and about 6 here. The snap, the give, going right side again. Taken down, but he'll get near the sticks, and the back that time was number 26, Dre Sissel. Put him at the 29-yard line, 3rd and 1. The snap fakes the give. Espinoza keeps it himself right side. Jamichael Morgan with the tackle, but not before he gets another first down. And Thomas More really just consistently moving the ball down the field on this first drive. You feel like this one was scripted coming out of halftime, and they knew what they wanted to do here, and they have executed every bit of it.
This has been a nice methodical drive for Thomas More for sure, and again, go back to Espinoza and how well he's just been able to engineer this offense out on the field, swing pass there, out to Sissel, and it'll pick up another 4 yards or so.
I mean, even like everything they're doing is a 4+ yard play right now, and Faulkner does not appear to have any answers. And that clock all the way down to 7:50. This is the second possession of the half for Thomas More, but this drive looks like your scripted drive.
Yeah, it does.
Everything is just on point. Toss right. First down. Sissel out of bounds. And Thomas More really now threatening to almost put this game away to make it a 3-possession ball game. And if you're Faulkner, you need something disruptive here.
And another thing that we've seen from the defense is one of the ways that you really had to disrupt Espinosa in this passing game, and some of the things they've been doing is pressure. You don't have to get the sack, but get in his face. And we haven't been seeing that, especially on this drive, as Espinosa runs again up inside the 10-yard line.
And Espinosa will be stopped. They'll blow it dead around the 8.
Surprised there's no flag for the hit there coming in, presumably after the whistles have been blown.
So 8-yard line, second down and about 4. Espinosa will go out of the gun. Trips right, one left. Drops, looks, throws.
There it is.
Touchdown to the big tight end. I think that was 89. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mike Kirch, the 6'4", 230-pound tight end out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's a 23-7 lead for Thomas More. They are all over Faulkner this afternoon.
Just a nice throw by Espinosa right to the spot there on that outpost by the tight end. Does a nice job running that route. Puts it only where he had the opportunity to get to it. And puts 6 up on the board. Opportunity for 7 now. The kick is up and in. So now a 25-7 lead. Or 24-7. They put the point up pretty quick there.
24-7. Thomas More leads. 6:13 to go in the third. Faulkner Sports Network.
I don't know if there's anything I like better than good barbecue. Full Moon has the best barbecue and best smoked wings in town, and those onion rings are out of this world. Go by after the game and use your ticket for a buy one get one free barbecue sandwich. Say hi to Chris in person at 7660 East Chase Parkway, or give him a call at 334-676-5999.
$6:13 to go in the third quarter. Thomas More to kick it away. That one sent back, fielded right about the 10-yard line by Drex Allen to the 20, to the 25, and he'll be pushed out of bounds over there. So again, Faulkner, very average starting field position. Their best starting field position of the day was the 49-yard line after a muffed punt, and they threw it back the next play. So Eagles, the 7 points came from their first possession of the game, the opening possession of the game for either team. And since that time, it has been all Thomas More. Twins to the left, one to the right for Ben Anderson. Fakes the give, keeps it himself, nowhere to go. Got a yard. Second and 10 here. So, Anderson runs the play in from the sideline. Play clock down to 4. Anderson awaits the snap. He'll get it at 1. Pump fake, throws down the field, picked off at the 40. Return up to about the 44-yard line. Threw it underneath Javion Tucker, who had his man beat, and now there's a need to get Faulkner players away from the sideline. As that one was picked off by number 21, Christian Rice, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky.
You said it, just an underthrown ball by Anderson, not able to get it out to Tucker. If he puts that 2 yards out in front of him, that's a touchdown more than likely with the speed of Tucker. But as it is, the Saints now have another opportunity to stretch this lead out even more with about 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Twins right, twins left. Now the tight end comes in motion. Vaden out of the gun. Takes a snap, drops, looks, throws down the seam. Broke it up nicely that time by number 12 for Faulkner, which is not a name we've called today. That's Jalen Clemens. Clemens did not have position on that ball and still got his hands up to break it up.
That was nice recovery speed getting back because he was beat on that play, but does a nice job hustling back and then, like you said, knocks the ball away from the receiver at the last minute.
Twins right, twins left. Vaden puts the man in motion. Takes the snap. There's the give. Wrapped up and taken down right at the line of scrimmage. That was number 23, Jaden Hall, on the carry. Two receivers left and one to the right. Now the tight end moves over there into the slot. The snap, fakes the give, throws it underneath, and there's a flag in the backfield. The pass was completed to Hunter Allfeld, the redshirt freshman out of Fort Thomas, Kentucky. But we'll see what the flag is. It would bring up fourth down if it's not against Faulkner, presuming they decline it. Illegal. Didn't see the signal on the, but it's against the offense. He declines it.
And
it's fourth down. That's what you needed to know. Actually, he didn't decline it. But it's a loss of down on the penalty. Fourth down.
Fourth down. Either way.
Yep. And they'll punt it away. No return there, and it takes a Faulkner roll up to the 32-yard line. So Faulkner will start at the 32-yard line with 3:55 to go in the third quarter, down 24-7, and in need of a spark of some kind.
And that spark they're hoping comes in the form of Raekwon Beal, as he's at least in on this play at quarterback.
So a quarterback change for the Eagles here. Trips left, one right. Beal out of the gun. Takes the snap. Looks. Fires over the middle and caught by Tyler Wilson. No, incomplete. Incomplete to Tyler Wilson. So Beal comes over, gets the play call in from the quarterback coach, Cade Young, who's the man down on the field with the headset. Beal will run the play in. 15 and counting on the play clock. 3:48 with a stopped clock on the game clock. Twins left, one right. Corinthian Cunningham is the back. Orr is also in the backfield at the wing spot. There's the give to Corinthian Cunningham. Little draw play up to about the 36-yard line. That gets them 4. Now they're 3rd and 6. Beal will see what he can come up with here on 3rd and 6. Faulkner just a first down would be.
Let your offense stay on the field more than the 3 plays,
Get that defense some rest. Out of the gun is Beal, and play clock at 8. Plenty of time as they reset. Beal takes the snap, drops, looks, throws downfield. Set Tyler Wilson couldn't get his hands on it. Beal dropped it in the basket, and Wilson couldn't make the catch. Beautiful throw.
That was a great throw, right on the money, right in stride, maybe a little bit out in front, but still Wilson had every opportunity to catch that ball, just couldn't quite do it, and we've got some laundry out on the field around the 32-yard line.
I know that's surprising because it's been such a clean game.
Roughing the passer.
Faulkner has 2 first downs in the second half. Both have come with a roughing the passer on 3rd down.
Still counts as a first down, though,
It's a first down. Raekwon Beal with a beautiful throw. Unable to connect with that one, but the roughing the passer moves the ball to the 49-yard line. And we'll see if Faulkner can establish anything here with the new life. Beautiful throw, though. Trips to the left, one to the right. Beal out of the gun. Takes the snap, drops, looks, scrambles out, still on his feet, slides down, and gets hit in the helmet. Wants the flag, not going to get it. You normally see the flag on that.
You do.
It's an in-between. I feel all the sympathy for the defenders, but guess what? It exists in the game, and you can't not call it.
Yep.
And it's one thing if it's a little dude like Ben Anderson, and you really didn't have. But when you got a big 6'5" guy, and you still hit him in the helmet as he's going down.
And I think that's the difference of it right there is the size of the quarterback and everything else. And we're going to get a delay of game here. Delay a game, a false start. Either way, a 5-yard penalty for the offense.
Yeah, I'm a little perplexed why the flag didn't come out on that play.
We've seen it on far less obvious.
Look, Faulkner got flagged for an excessive tackle earlier. It was a legal tackle by every stretch, and they got the 15-yarder in what was a real key moment in this game. That right there was far more obvious of an infraction, and it didn't get flagged. Ball's back on the 49-yard line, 2nd down and 12. Twins to the right, one to the left, Beal out of the gun. Takes the snap, there's the give, right guard, gets back a couple of yards up to the 48. It's going to make it 3rd down. Third and 9. Ball on the 48. Minute 7 to go in the 3rd quarter. Beal takes the snap, drops, looks, throws, incomplete. So, punting unit to the field.
And it's a small thing, but that's 3 straight snaps where I've seen Beal have to reach to one side or the other or make a step one side to get the snap. And when you talked about the center in the game getting his first start here today, and that makes a huge difference in the timing of the play. If Bill or Anderson, whoever's in, having to make that extra step or make that extra move to be able to make sure that they get the snap, that's going to affect things further down the field.
High kick here, caught at the 22-yard line, 17-yard line. And they'll give him up to the 18 as they spot the ball, and that's where Thomas More will start. And you're right, especially with Beal, that's his first drive. If there's been anything slightly different on the snap all day, Ben Anderson has been in there all game and is adjusted to it.
And
Beal is new.
Let's face it, there's a little bit of a difference between 5'11 and 6'5.
Yeah.
And where they're going to want the snap.
Yeah, you got to get that. You got to get it higher,
Right.
snapping to Beal. And
Right.
Beal's having to reach down, and that does make a difference. 3 receivers in the formation. There's the snap. There's the give. Up the middle.
Tough run.
And up to the 31-yard line.
Malik Jarrett, tough first down run for the Saints from Thomas More, and gets him another first down. And we got Galante Varner hobbling off the field. Looks like cramps, though, just stretching him back out on the sideline.
Vaden is the quarterback on this drive. Takes the snap. There's the give. Jarrett works right. Nowhere to go. Ja'Kai Stevens, the first man there. So make it 2nd down and 12. And if Faulkner's going to get a spark, that may have to come from defense. And there will be the end of the quarter. So the Eagles down 17 as we head to the 4th on the Faulkner Sports Network.
Training tomorrow's teachers, ministers, and scientists. Guiding future business leaders to positively impact our global economy. Teaching healthcare professionals to improve patient outcomes. Coaching athletes to give their best on and off the field. Men and women learning how to succeed wherever their dreams take them. That's Faulkner University. With over 70 undergraduate and graduate degree programs, you'll find your calling, all in a Christian learning environment. Faulkner University. Discover more at faulkner.edu.
Vaden out of the gun. Trips left as we start the 4th quarter. Incomplete. It's going to make it 3rd down and 12. Faulkner down 17 points as we start this 4th quarter. And an offense that has looked really flat for most of the ballgame. Trips to the left, one to the right. Out of the gun. There's the snap. Vaden scrambles, looks, keeps his eyes downfield. Now he's going to tuck it and go. Darius Williams with the tackle.
Good job by Williams, just staying with him, not buying on any of the dancing that Vaden was trying to do, and just takes him down. And now it's 4th down, punting situation for the Saints.
The other thing I like about that for Darius Williams, not only did he stay with him, Vaden went to stiff arm him, and he just grabbed the jersey and dropped his hips and made sure he was going down.
Yeah.
Really sound play by Darius Williams there. Faulkner looks like they're going to come after this one. And you got to find a spark.
Yeah, if you can do it and get a spark, no doubt.
That is a high punt. Oh, my goodness. What a punt. And it will roll all the way to the 6, almost the 5-yard line. What a punt. 62 yards. So, Elgin Phillips is a weapon.
If you can flip the field position just like that, man, that's a great punt.
A weapon.
In a difficult situation when you've got 10 guys coming at you.
He averages 40 yards a punt this year. That was his longest of the year. The prior long was 57.
Ball came out, but I think it was after the runner was already down. Bolton was the ball carrier, will lose.
Well, he gains. No, he loses.
Nope, loses 3 yards. So apparently the ball did come out. Because that's about where Bill jumped on it.
2nd and 13. Faulkner just needing something here. Beal out of the gun. Faulkner at its own 3-yard line. Drops, looks, fires, caught. That's the Tyler Wilson. That'll be a first down. That's Faulkner's first earned first down of the half. They're up to the 24-yard line with 12:58 and counting. I feel like maybe Faulkner needs to go tempo here. 4 in the formation. There's one back in the backfield next to Beal. The snap, drops, looks, throws over the middle. That's the Tyler Wilson again. Wilson with some running room. He'll cross the 40 to the 45, pushed out of bounds at the 48-yard line. And just like that, 2 plays to Tyler Wilson, 45 yards later, and Faulkner in business for the first time in a very long time.
And them going with some tempo may actually benefit the Eagles, just keeping them on the field and keep them in a rhythm and routine almost.
Trips right one, left Beal out of the gun. He will await the snap. He'll take it. Looks, fires left side, back shoulder fade to Javion Tucker. Couldn't quite get his other hand around to make the catch, but the throw was where only Tucker had a chance at it.
It was, and that was a nice job defensively by Alonce Diallo there for the Saints. As soon as he goes to make that play, he's all over him and is sure that he doesn't grab it, swing him out of bounds, and don't even allow him to make the play.
Trips right one, left. Beal out of the gun on 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 48-yard line. Faulkner trying to find rhythm for the first time in a long time. Beal awaits the snap. Drops. Looks. Now he'll throw the safety valve, but too high for Tim Cody. Incomplete, 3rd down and 10 here. And I think you're in 4-down territory at this point, down 17 with 12 minutes to go.
More than likely, especially if you get something here on 3rd down, decent.
Caleb Jones in the ball game in the slot on the left. Sean Vincent in the slot on the right. DeMarcus Johnson wide right. Javion Tucker wide left. Beal out of the gun. He'll take the snap. He drops. Looks. Throws. Nothing doing there. And Beal ends up on his face, and that's going to bring the punting unit out. Caden Davis to punt again.
Believe that was number 44 for the Saints. Tanner Lawrence bringing the pressure. Got to Beal on that one. Ended up bringing him to the ground.
The 7th punt of the day for Caden Davis.
And Thomas More looks like they're coming after. No, they'll
They
back off.
Caught at the, nope, he'll let it go. And it'll check up. 25-yard line is where it's touched. And the flag comes out. Why? Why is there a flag? Let's see.
There were like 5 Faulkner players around the football. That was it. And that's where the
conversation is with Coach Rob Gray. So we'll see what the call here is. White Hat still in a conversation with 3 other officials. Field judge comes over.
He says, I want Mose.
He's been immediately vetoed. Full Moon Barbecue has entered the chat. That's an acceptable answer. Go see our friends at Full Moon. Excellent mac and cheese. All right. So it's against Thomas More. What they possibly could have done, I do not know.
Apparently some form of...
The only thing, I don't know. I do not know what was called. I'm just going to tell you. The only thing I could possibly think of in the area that the flag was thrown is the question of, is your return man calling fair catch when he has no intention of going up to catch the ball because he never got anywhere near the ball?
Yeah.
It's the only thing I could possibly think of that would have happened in that area. Because when you call for it, guys are going to start backing off.
Right.
But I don't know. Twins left, Twins right. Defense has to create something for Faulkner to have a chance. Espinoza toss right, and he falls right on the spot, loses yardage.
7-yard line, or 8-yard line, rather.
Loss of 3. Okay, Buddy Bagsby tells us that penalty was illegal participation on Thomas More. Typically that's if somebody's helmet comes off and they continue to play, that kind of thing. Twins right, 1 left. Out of the gun is Espinoza. Fakes the give. Throws it on the sit down, and Jalen Clemens will run him out of bounds. So thank you to our producer, Buddy Bagsby, for getting us the information on the call there. Illegal participation.
No gain on that play.
Faulkner Sports Network crew want to shout out our camera work today. Jackson Hall. And Buddy Bagsby has been on production. Broadcast team lead Grayson Plunkett. Cade Tide has been involved today. Ahmad Johnson, been part of our crew. Thanks to those guys. 3rd and 14 here, and there's the give. Working across left tackle, and a late surge, but it's not going to be enough for Malik Jarrett. And Faulkner's defense holds, and there's going to be a punt. And they're having to separate players.
And so there's going to be a punt unless they keep goading big number 92, Terry Brown, into a after the whistle 15-yard penalty there.
Yeah. 10:23 and counting remaining in the ball game. Faulkner down 17, and again they're showing that they're coming after it. I don't know what's Elgin Phillips going to do now. Punt 170? That's about all he hasn't done. And he gets that one off. The pressure does affect the kick, but it takes a great roll. Still rolling. Still rolling. And down at the 27-yard line. So let's do a little math here. 37 plus 23, 60. His punting average today is absolutely absurd. Absurd. He has flipped the field again. And when you look at his, I think he's punted 3 times. That's what I got to go back and check here. I think he's punted 3 times, and the shortest one was 56 yards. Okay, he's punted 5 times.
Okay.
3 of them over 50.
That'll play.
46.4 yards per punt. Trips left, 1 right. Beal out of the gun. Takes the snap. Swings it out to Devin Murray. And Murray surges forward to about the 32-yard line. Maybe the 31. Big gain of 4. Four receivers in the formation. There's the snap. Looks, throws, caught Devin Murray again. And he gets taken down at the 35-yard line. So now 3rd and 2. Devin Murray checks out. Drexel Allen checks in on 3rd down. 4 receivers. Beal out of the gun. Takes the snap. Throws, caught to Tyler Wilson, turns it upfield, and gets pushed forward to midfield. A 15-yard gain on 3rd and 2.
It's a thank you tackle. Moves you up 3 yards when you take that hit.
Yeah. Trips right, 1 left now. Out of the gun, the snap, drops, looks, throws.
Nice
Caught
pass
by Damon Hitchcock.
Nice pass right in the middle of that coverage, right behind the linebacker. Great job by Bill fitting that ball in.
Trips right, 1 left again. Bill out of the gun. He'll take the snap, drops, looks, throws it, incomplete. Wanted to Tyler Wilson, but Wilson was well covered. That'll stop the clock with 8:16 to play. Two to the right, 2 to the left. Beal out of the gun. Takes the snap, drops, flips it up over everybody's head, incomplete. 3rd and 10. Now Javion Tucker will be the man out wide left. Caleb Jones will be in the slot. Other side, you got Vincent in the slot. Johnson out wide right as we go with this 4th down play. Or 3rd down play, rather. Now Jones moves over. So 3 to the right. Beal takes the snap. Looks, fires, incomplete.
Ball was out and through before Vincent ever even saw it.
4th and 10.
Obviously, about 8 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the ball game. You've got to have some points. You got to go for it here on your side of the 50.
4 receivers in the formation. Beal out of the gun.
And you got to think on fourth down, they probably won't bring more than 3, although it looks like blitz is coming from the backers. No, he backs off. It is pressure of 3.
And it's complete to Tyler Wilson again. And it's a first down up past the 25-yard line. Just start on fourth down or third down with Tyler Wilson in the formation.
Yeah.
That's been the greatest success.
He has been, by large, the offense here, especially after the second quarter.
Yeah. Trips to the right, one to the left. Drexel Allen in the backfield. 7:39 and counting for a team down by 17. They got to move with some urgency here. Beal takes the snap. Throws it, caught by Sean Vincent. He'll get it down to the 17-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
Good sit-down route there and timing with Vincent and Beal.
Trips left, one right. Out of the gun goes Beal. And flags everywhere.
It's going to be on the offense, so back them up probably 5 yards here.
False start call. So that's going to make it 2nd and 7. Trips left, one right. Bill takes a snap, drops, looks, flings it up to the end zone. Nobody there. Javion Tucker in the area. That'll make it 3rd and 7. And a flag. There is a flag. Somebody said something. Who heard what? Are we going offsetting again? Unsportsmanlike conduct against Thomas Moore. It's apparently on the young man exiting the field right now. So a first down for Faulkner.
It's going to end up being half the distance, isn't it?
Should be. 1st and 10 from the 11. It was from the 22 to the 11. Out of the gun goes Beal on 1st and 10. The snap. Fakes the give. Keeps it himself. Throws it.
Touch.
Did he catch it?
No, incomplete.
No, incomplete. Wanted Javion Tucker. .645 remaining. Trips left, one right. Beal out of the gun again. There's the snap.
Pressure coming.
Throws incomplete. 3rd and 10.
Throws behind Vincent.
Well, listen, here's the thing. You're down 17. It's 3 scores. If you don't get it here, I think you kick it. And it cuts it to 2 scores.
Yeah,
and you take your chances.
Yeah, you got to take your chances. If you can get points, you got to go for it.
Trips left, one right.
You've got to have, like you said, you got to have 3 scores at some point anyway. Might as well take one here on the field goal.
Beal looks.
And there's a
and
sack.
He's sacked. Now your clock's running.
Coming off the end, that's number 44, called his name earlier, Tanner Lawrence.
So the field goal unit onto the field. Ball officially on the 20. This is a 37-yard attempt. Well, the 21 making a 38-yard attempt. Snap, hold, kick, up.
Nope.
No good. And it amounts to nothing for Faulkner Thomas More football. So the sack was the worst of the possibilities on third down outside of just throwing a pick. And
it was really nothing Beal could do. Pressure coming from the outside, unblocked essentially, and it was either just chunk it out of bounds, but you got to have a receiver near him or near the throw or take the sack.
so Thomas More now gets to go into killing the clock mode.
Espinosa on the carry, straight ahead, up past the 25, gets nailed at about the 27-yard line.
And again, I think you're going to see him stay really conservative here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everything in tight and just run the ball, run the clock.
Especially when running the football, they've been getting 4 yards a pop doing that.
5.5 to go in the fourth quarter. 24-7 is the score in favor of Thomas More. Faulkner again scored on the opening possession of the ball game, and there have been 24 unanswered Saint points since then. Espinosa takes the snap. Espinosa keeps it himself, and he'll be taken down by Shinkoni Lewis. That'll make it third down and about 3. Bring in a couple more blockers and see what they can do on 3rd and 2 here as they try to run some more clock. 4:34 and counting. Espinosa takes the snap. There's the give. He'll get outside. First down yardage, and there's a flag.
Great job by Jarrett. Defender in the backfield just throws on the brakes, cuts to the outside and gets around him, picks up the first down, but flag on the field. We'll see what it is.
Normally a hold. That is the edge that he came around. And they are retreating.
That was a sign from the line judge to Coach Gray here on the sideline.
So another hold against Thomas More. What that does do is burn a little more clock. So again, I don't think the yardage fully tells the number or tells the story of the penalties so far, but 11 penalties for 114 yards against Thomas More, and they're up 17 points.
Yeah.
There's the snap. Espinosa will keep it. And
still
spin
going
forward and a first down. Now they're ripping at the ball, and he's just dragging everybody up to the 45-yard line.
3rd and 12, you go straight quarterback draw.
And get 26 yards. Wow. And that is an emphatic nail in the coffin for Faulkner on this day. And there's a timeout taken by the Eagles. We'll take it with them. Faulkner Sports Network.
My name is Mikey Peavy. I'm the 3rd generation here at A&P Auto. Looking for a good used pickup truck? We got them. A good used car? We got them. A good SUV? We got them. Come see us at A&P Automotive today.
Espinoza takes the snap, the give to Jarrett, spins out of a tackle, and into another one. Clock still running, 3:28 and counting.
Timeout, Faulkner. Now down to 1.
So another timeout. This is a Faulkner team that it's not getting any easier the next couple of weeks. They will hit the road next week to face the number 3 team in the country, Lindsey Wilson. And then they travel to San Antonio, Texas to face University of the Incarnate Word, or in the Incarnate Word University, one of the two. Either way, it is a Division I program that's ranked number 11 in the country in FCS. So Faulkner's going to have to figure some things out quickly. Then the back end of the schedule, Cumberland, Bethel, and University of Pikeville. Twins left, one right. There's the give. He'll pick up a little bit. Emmanuel Allen in on the stop. Lindsey Wilson entered today at 5-0, and they're on a bye week. So they're regrouping ahead of Faulkner's arrival.
Extra week of rest for them.
Yeah. Last time out for Faulkner. 3rd down and 9. Quarterback draw worked well last time.
It did.
Call it again.
Did. I'm sure it will be a running play. Keep that clock moving. If they have to punt, they don't care at this juncture of the ball game. Up 17 points.
Espinoza out of the gun. Takes the snap and a flag.
Apparently blown dead, so should be on the offense. Unless offensive player came across, he did not. It is on the offense.
3rd and 14.
So now was that 12 penalties for Thomas
I
Moore
think
on the
that's where
afternoon?
we're going to get. $12 for 119. There's the snap, the give, wrapped up quickly, and they'll punt it away.
So loss on the play. About a 4th and 15 now.
4th and 15. Ball on the 39. Punting unit will take its time getting onto the field. Clock stopped with 3:02 to go.
Why is the clock stopped?
So, Elgin Phillips is back. He has been incredible today.
Possibly the most entertaining part of this second half.
5 punts, 232 yards, averages 46.4 per punt today, and a long of 62.
That average will stick with that punt. Oh, it's in the end zone.
Got into the end zone. So Faulkner will come out to the 20-yard line, but that was really close to being another big-time punt. Elgin Phillips has been an entertaining player to watch today. So 2:32 remaining in the game. Faulkner down 24-7. Just trying to put together some kind of momentum going into next week when they travel to the number 3 team in the country, Lindsey Wilson. Beal is the quarterback out of the gun. Drops, looks, throws, incomplete. Threw it behind his man. That was Sean Vincent.
Dropped down his motion, that three-quarter almost sidearm, and then goes behind Vincent. Yet again, that's about the second or third time that's happened.
Trips right, one left. Beal is out of the gun. Nearly picked off, incomplete.
Defensive back read it and broke. That was number 5. Davon Earl, 5'9" junior from Winter Garden, Florida.
3rd and 10. 2:21 to play. Trips right, one left. Beal out of the gun. Going to take his shot on a fade route. Tucker's got it. So a first down throw there to Javion Tucker.
Good throw, nice route for Tucker. You saw the defensive back slow down, looking to play the ball. Tucker keeps going, gets that step behind the defensive back, and makes the catch.
To the 38-yard line. Beal takes the snap, drops, looks, flush the other way, rolling, throws it in the dirt, incomplete. Minute 56 to go in the ball game. So that last throw puts Tucker at 100 yards on the nose. 4 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown for him. Raekwon Beal now 9 of 23 through the air for 143 yards. Four receivers. Beal takes the snap, drops, looks, throws. That's Tucker again. And he is driven backwards. And they're not going to give him progress.
Which is right, because he ran back himself and then got hit.
34-yard line. So he gains about 4 yards on that play. And that one, was it hit coming out of his hand?
I don't think it was hit coming out of hand. I think it was just
lost his grip a little bit. That one fluttered.
Lost his grip, and it was a timing play to the outside there to Johnson, and Johnson hadn't even begun to make his break yet when Bill was trying to throw the football.
4th down. And about 6. Trips right, one left. Beal takes the snap, drops, looks, throws, incomplete. Thomas Moore will take over on downs.
Minute 21 remaining. Faulkner can't stop the clock, so you'd think 3 kneel downs here gets the job done.
That pass was intended for Jarvis Hardwick, the freshman out of Atala, Alabama. So, as we're ready to wrap this one up, your numbers as they stand now before we get into the summarial kneeling that will wrap it all up. 160 yards on the ground for Thomas Moore on 34 carries, 80 yards for Faulkner on 33 carries. So Thomas Moore averaged 4.7 per rush, 2.4 per rush for the Eagles. Through the air, Faulkner will end up 18 out of 45 for 231 yards, a couple of interceptions. 16 to 24 for 175 yards and a pick for Thomas More. In the end, 58 plays for 335 yards for the Saints, 78 plays for 311 yards for the Eagles. Yards per play, Faulkner got it up to 3.99 this week, but 5.64 yards per play for the Saints. And the big numbers that we've been talking about all day, 12 penalties for 119 yards for Thomas More, and it didn't matter. 6 punts, 48.8 yards. They did a great job when they ended drives and kicks. And, the story of the game, we've talked about it. Faulkner scored on the opening possession. 17 unanswered for Thomas More to end the first half. They scored on their second possession of the second half, made it 24-7, and never really looked back. So we wrap this one up here. Thomas More headed to Division II next year, probably the final time that Faulkner will play them. So 24-7 is the final score. Thomas More winners here today, and David Turner, these Eagles have got to put it away quickly, and they go play the number 3 team in the country next week.
Yeah, you've got to put this behind you, especially the second half. It came out, the offense sputtered the entire, really from the second quarter on, but especially the second half. Most of your first downs here in the second half coming from penalties from Thomas More in a large way. So, put this one behind you, and because, like you said, number 3 in the country, you've got to go there. So you've got to be focused and knowing what you're supposed to do here next week. And that's going to be what's most important now at this point for the Eagles.
Faulkner on the road next week at Lindsey Wilson, 2 weeks from now, to the number 11 team in NCAA FCS. That is Incarnate Word. And back here on October the 29th, our next broadcast, October the 29th. For Buddy Bagsby and Kate Todd, Jackson Hull, Ahmad Johnson, for David Turner, I'm Jeremy Smith. This has been the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Eagle football. Good night, and God bless you.